the Bills, are they losing momentum, right? Like, this is a team that I think going in, everybody obviously always has them in the Super Bowl conversation, even though they haven't sniffed one. We talk about them, but then you saw that win the Texans had against them the other night with Davis Mills as a starting quarterback. It starts to make you wonder, right? It feels like things are coming down to reality. The Joe Brady hype has started to cool down drastically. Now we went from a team where people were talking about the Bills pushing forward and this being the Bills' year to, well, is Sean McDermott on the hot seat? Is Sean McDermott going to be out of there? Because the Bills just seem to be losing steam as we go. Here's a move that I want to foresee. I want to foretell. I could see coming in the future. I feel like if they were to move on from Joe Brady, which could be a reality, Brian Daboll returning to the Bills makes a lot of sense. It does. I think it makes a lot of sense. And if they were, I think even if they were to bring in Brian Daboll as if they were to move on from Sean McDermott, not saying that they would, Brian Daboll could even be in the mix for a head coaching job because we saw how well him and Josh Allen meshed together. That all being said, what is going on in Buffalo right now? Because all the vibes, this is supposed to be their last year at the stadium. Let's go Buffalo, all that crap, right? Marissa's headed to Buffalo and a few, like literally directly after the show. But there's so much that's going into the Buffalo Bills season not playing out the way everyone expected. I want to get you boys' thoughts on the Buffalo Bills. Are the Buffalo Bills losing momentum? Because I think they are.
Yeah. All right. I think there's more. Again, this is another team where they have more questions than answers. I'll probably say the number one from from scheme wise is the fact that the wide receivers for the Buffalo Bills they have a problem with creating separation. That's number one. They don't have a number one receiver. And with Brian Daboll, you talk about the idea of him possibly coming back. He's going to come back to a lesser talented wide receiving core. Remember, Stephon Diggs. You had your Dalton Kincaid playing well at the beginning of this season. You don't have that. That's a smooth 8 to 10 catches off the field, a smooth 60, 70, and possibly touchdown in production off the field. Then you talk about, the run game was there. I think this last game, they just so happened to draw a shorthand of playing against them dogs. That defense over there ran by DeMeco Ryans is one of the best in the NFL. And when you have a lack of separation on the back end as far as your receivers go, that holds Josh Allen with the ball in his hand longer than he wants to, and lets Houston run with their ears pinned back. Also, I think another issue with the Texans, not the Texans, but the Bills, is their defense is ass too. Their defense, especially on the back end, the explosive plays that they give up, the blown coverages that they have, the inability to stop the run on third down has been an issue as well for them. I think schematic wise, they have an issue over there as well. But I think overall, it's just a lack of talent that they're short on. You're asking Josh Allen to be Superman a lot of the times, and especially in that game Thursday night, you had him running back for negative yardage, trying to create a play when a lot of it wasn't there. Scramble drill doesn't always work. Backyard football doesn't always work. You can't go east to west. And that's a lot of what their offense is, east to west instead of north to south. You're going to have to rely on the run game later in the year, especially when the playoffs come. It's going to get colder. And you don't have Keon Coleman. I don't know what the fuck your problem is. I don't know what's going on.
He was never
but you are an NFL player. Look, I get that. You are an NFL player now. And you showed flashes at the beginning of the year. You are a contested catch guy. I get that. Separation wasn't your forte. But at this point, you have to at least be out there to give some type of scare. Y'all don't have Mac Hollins anymore. You have a Gabe Davis who, hasn't been the same guy since he left you. So I know you're looking for that spark, but you don't have what you used to have. So you have to deal with what you do have.
I was to say, when you don't have a dominant receiver on the outside that would force defenses to respect you outside of Khalil Shakir, right, who's an undersized receiver at that. Well, you're forcing defenses now to load the box, and we're not going to act like the Bills have a dominant offensive line, right? They can get overwhelmed in there, and we saw that. We saw that. We saw that on Thursday night with them facing the Houston Texans. We saw the blitz going up the A gap, the B gap. We saw so many different things being thrown the Buffalo Bills way, and they didn't really have an answer for it.
The place that it all goes down. Get up, let me begin. This is TWSN. You ain't heard about us yet, well you better know now, because it's the place that it all goes down.
Shout out Young Swish.